Hello, my name is Joel Detweiler. I am a financial planner and a special needs consultant with a company called the Quantum Group out of La Crosse, Wisconsin. We founded the company in August of 2018, and we basically did so because we found that there's a big need in the financial planning community for an understanding of how all the aspects of disability planning happen and work. And there's a number of people that we felt just weren't getting any type of answers or attention. We kept getting questions and actually didn't have answers ourselves. And so we went and did the work to find out what those answers are and find the resources we could work with and help people. And that's what the Quantum Group does. So contact information you can see above me here with the wonders of technology. And when it comes to, I think the idea when it's in transition and what do we do, right? And I think that what we want to try and do is, to use a football analogy, quarterback a little bit, or be the thumb that touches all the fingers in your disability transition plan. A lot of people that you'll be able to see here and the resources that you'll have as part of this website are excellent. And then the big question is, well, how do I use all of these at the same time? And you don't always use all of them at the same time, but it's nice to have someone who has connections to each place and maybe looks at how those things work. We'll talk about and have an understanding with people of the idea of what type of government benefits do you receive? Is it Social Security? And you have, what type of Social Security is it? Because there's a couple different types of those. We'll talk about your health care, or your child's health care. Do you have medical assistance? Do you have your own employer that provides health care? How do those two things work together? It comes down to things like housing. And you can also look at at the end of the day, as you head through transition, two big things that really take place that what we've noticed that we don't deal in these areas, but we understand the stresses of them and understand how they can affect the financial piece is guardianship, shared decision-making, self-advocacy for your child, and then also the personal finance aspect of things that is, what kind of checking account do they have? Do they have a savings account? What can their assets be? What are my options if my child's assets run over? Should I have what's called a rep payee, or should I help my own child? So when your children turn 18 in this transition period, they become an adult on paper, but may not be an adult in person. And how do we help them through that? How do we help you through that and understand all those different areas? And so that's, understanding the to-do list is really the first step that we take, and getting those places. And if we don't know how to help, then we connect with the other people that are making these videos on this site that do an excellent job. And so the collaboration of how do we establish the to-do list, what is on the to-do list, and then who helps us. And that's something that I feel very fortunate, and our group feels fortunate that we've been able to come in contact with some great people with this CCOT group and work from there. And then I think when you move forward from there, you start looking at what's our to-do list, but then also what are our tools? What are the things that we can use to not just survive and not just kind of make it through life, but how do we help your child succeed and thrive? And how do we help you as a family see this as something that is a very manageable thing, and then take advantage of some of the tools that are available to both you and your child? When you talk about the idea of, how does employment affect your child's benefits? How does it, how could we use employment to your child's benefit, right? Not just to make income, and let's not have it be where you're afraid to have your child work because you're afraid you're going to lose benefits. Let's define what that looks like and figure out really what can help them be very successful. We want to talk about the idea of, how do we manage the assets that your child may have? There's tools that are called ABLE accounts. We have independence accounts. There's a number of different things that can be done. And we want to make sure that we access all of those pieces that we can. And then I think that probably at the very end of the day, we want to make sure that you have a plan to replace you as a parent. All the things that you're doing for your child. What happens if something happens to you? Who takes care of your child as a person? Who takes care of all this careful financial network that we've put in place? And, who is able to make sure that they are able to live a life after you've gone, whether it's in a crisis moment that you didn't have control over, or whether you pass away from old age. We want to make sure that all those things are in place. And we want to make sure that all those tools are, treated like a vehicle where another driver can step in and replace you in those areas and be successful doing so. So we can't predict when those things are going to happen, but if we know what those tools are and we have a plan put in place for the next person, the next generation to be able to drive that vehicle, we think that we've done a good job and made sure that we can take some of that stress away from you. And again, let you as a parent work to be able to enjoy your life with your child's life and go from there.